Get ready for the dictation. 5 seconds. Start. Sir, I rise in support of the motion of thanks moved by my distinguished senior colleague. Sir, I take this opportunity to congratulate the government under the great leadership of Honorable Prime Minister for this second address of the Honorable President to both the Houses of Parliament. Sir, I welcome the announcement made in the President's address about creation of the Disaster Management Authority through a legislation. The country has recently been devastated by tsunami. The entire Andaman and Nicobar Islands, many parts of Tamil Nadu, Pondicherry, Kerala, and Andhra Pradesh have been devastated, killing people, making millions of people homeless, children orphaned, women widowed, and crops washed away. The government and the people together are busy in rehabilitation works. Sir, more attention has to be paid to the surviving old persons, widows, orphans, and physically challenged ones. There are other natural disasters like consistent drought conditions in my home state of Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, and in other parts of the country. The farmers are committing suicides and fields are thirsty. I hope this authority will manage the after effects of national disasters. Sir, I appreciate that the address has ensured communal harmony and a new sense of hope to the minorities and weaker sections of the society. Sir, I welcome the announcement made in the President's address that a white paper on the status of minorities will be prepared. I demand that it should also throw light on the decisive policies and deeds of communal forces which are bent upon dividing us on religious and communal lines, and such organizations should be banned. Sir, I appreciate the concern shown by the address about people living in forests and the promise to grant them rights for cultivating in forest areas of the forest villages. But they face other problems. They are exploited by forest personnel and money lenders. This has to be dealt with strictly. The forest officials found guilty of exploitation of tribals should summarily be dismissed and arrested for trial. Trafficking of tribal girls should be slapped with capital punishment. Sir, the introduction of reservation bill in parliament is a welcome step. It will provide protection to the SCs, STs and OBCs for their entry, promotional avenues, etc. in government service. But there is another exploited lot in the society which also needs to be given reservation. They are the women of this great country who have to be made economically independent. Hence, I demand that a percentage of quota in the reservation bill should be reserved for them. Sir, the address promises for enhancing public investment in irrigation and waste land development. These are laudable steps. Irrigation facilities need to be developed in a big way. I suggest that waste land areas be allotted to cooperatives of youths and they should be supplied saplings, seeds, and other things to make waste land cultivable so that the problem of unemployment is also tackled. Sir, another welcome step in the President's address is the promise to effect a steep increase in credit flow to agriculture. For this, the banking sector has to gear up in the true sense. Most of the public sector banks do not even fulfill the quota of 18% lending of their net credit to agriculture. The private sector banks and more so the foreign banks are too far behind whereas they have to follow the national policies. So, the government and the RBI have to ensure that all the banks implement the government policies in letter and spirit. The address also speaks about the need for mass action for the conservation of water. For this, rooftop rainwater harvesting has to be made compulsory throughout the country. I am consistently suggesting that the government should create rainwater harvesting infrastructure in government residential colonies, office complexes, etc., and for the general public, subsidy on such infrastructure needs to be given. Unless we make rainwater harvesting compulsory, turning it into a mass movement, the scarcity of water is not going to be solved. Sir, another laudable point in the address is that the government will actively involve local body institutions in the implementation of developmental programs. We must welcome this, but some reforms have to be made in the local bodies also. As per media reports, in Rajasthan, though women are elected, but de facto their husbands take all the decisions on their behalf. The women can't dare to defy their husbands who make mockery of their elections. So, the women who have been elected to local body institutions have to be ensured freedom in their working. I hope the government will take note of this. The address has ensured that government will give priority to issues of both access and excellence in education. I urge upon the government to focus on the education of girls who remain illiterate due to various social and other reasons. Similar is the fate of women, so I demand to make education compulsory for the girl child up to 12th standard. The adult literacy should be extended to women more sincerely. Sir, I welcome the announcement that government proposes to launch a national rural health mission in which local bodies will be involved. The healthcare system in rural areas and tribal areas is far from satisfactory. There is severe shortage of doctors and more so of lady doctors. I am time and again demanding posting or at least ensuring visits of lady doctors so that women folk could at least tell about their problems to doctors. I hope the mission will take care of this aspect also. Sir, my last point is about covered toilet in every rural household for the women and children. The agony of women and girls who have to attend to the call of nature in the open can be imagined. This will require enough money, but a provision has to be made. I hope it will be certainly made. Sir, I once again support the motion and thank you for allowing me to speak. Stop.